Okay, doing a repair video on the Electrolux built-in microwave. If you have a display that is dull, display readout, you can't see it, eventually that's what happens. Some forums say that you can just take the circuit board out and you can replace the capacitors. It ain't gonna happen. So we did that. That was a waste of 30 bucks. So let me tell you what I figured out here. So this is your LED readout on your circuit board, and underneath the LED readout, which is a real bear to get to, underneath here there was two capacitors. Now I couldn't find a wiring diagram. You can see the one there, and there's one hiding right there. Couldn't find a wiring diagram for this thing, so we just assumed that these were one of these two capacitors were the drive capacitors for the display, and we were assuming that the display was the problem. Replace those capacitors. I think they're 50 volt, 10 farad capacitors. Resoldered them in, reinstalled the board, and it didn't solve the problem. So anyway, on this model in the Electrolux, that doesn't seem to be the problem and the failure point of the display. So I got a little frustrated with it. I figured it'd be a simple repair, but the one thing I'm not an expert in is electronics. It's the one thing I wish that I had a degree in. I really do, but hindsight's 20/20. So, and I'm not going to start now. But anyway, I learn what I can. The actually in computer circuitry and design would be nice to have a degree in. So heads up, kids, get a degree in this crap. You make lots of money. So went on to Fleabay and located another circuit board, and that solved my problem. Now, my electronic expert who lives here in town, old school guy, really understands this stuff. He said basically that it could be the chip causing the problem. So just giving a heads up, let people know if you have the Electrolux over the counter built-in microwave, this is the model, you have to replace the circuit board to get your display back. So you can go, of course, to online and search out the part number for the circuit board. I'll put it in the description if I can locate it. I should be able to. I'll pull the part number and locate it off my Fleabay purchase and put it in the description to help people out. But kind of a shame. A lot of people get rid of these microwaves over simple little part in it that goes out. I really wish I knew what the issue was. But like I said, my electronics guy looked at all the soldering points. He looked at everything. He didn't have a wiring diagram to test. He did say input voltage on the display was 5 volts, but he didn't have any other way to test it. So without the diagram, he didn't want to cause a problem. So there it is. And hopefully that helps somebody out. Removing the choke, that's what I wanted to bring up also. So if you're going to remove the choke, which is the surround that goes around on the inside, okay, I kind of got a little crazy with mine. But there's these tabs that hold that choke in, okay? So what you're going to do is you'll take a pair of small pliers while the choke's already installed, and then you're going to pinch with a pair of small pliers like these. Okay, I'm going to explain how you do this without busting anything. So you take a little pair of pliers, and you're going to pinch that tab, and you're going to slide a razor blade, a carpet style razor blade, in between the tab hook and the choke, all the way around, okay? Or I mean on the inner frame, excuse me, on the inner frame, because this is how you get the inner frame off. To get the choke off, which is this thing, you have to use a plastic scraper and go down on the inside of the choke in between the frame, and then lift the choke out using the scraper to disengage it. It's kind of it's a real pain in the hiney. And I got to the side corner here, and the corner popped up on me, and I wasn't paying attention. I was using too much He-Man brute force and broke it. But it'll go back together. I'll put a little super glue on it, and none the better. So that's kind of where you're at with these things. So when you first get the door apart, let me give you a tip on the door. There's a couple screws up top. You'll see. I don't know. There's one there. Hopefully the camera's catching it. There's another screw hole somewhere up here. Here it is. It's hidden right there. Hide behind the tab, which should be up inside here, not sitting on top. Take those two screws out, and then you can take this and slide this out, and then you'll have your electrical connector there. See it? And that's going to be attached to the door. Okay. And then once you get this apart, you can lift the door up, because this little thing here holds the door down from lifting up and off the supports here. All right. So take those two screws off, slide this out, pull the plug out, lift the door up and out, and you got access to the door. Then you got to take the choke off. Here's your choke, right? Go inside with a plastic scraper to disengage the choke, and you lift it up as you go along. It's better to have some help, and it's also helpful if you have another scraper to put underneath as you lift it out so it doesn't slide back down and lock back in. Get the choke off. Then you got to get the inner door off. You're going to take, like I said, described earlier, you're going to take a little pair of pliers. You're going to push these tabs. You're going to push these tabs, see them, over, and you're going to slide a razor blade between the tab and the inner door frame. And it's like 13 razor blades, right? And then you can easily lift the inner door frame out. This is the inner door frame. Right, so you can get this inner door frame out without breaking those tabs. So there it is. So this will go in like so, right? Okay. And you got to be careful. This is aluminum, because these tabs will bend. You do not want to be bending any of this tab assembly on this inner door frame. You do not want to do that, because you will not have a fun time putting it together. So then that gives you access to the cover. The cover is here, which covers the circuit board. Undo your screws. Pull your circuit board by undoing 5 screws from the circuit board. The ribbon cable. There's a ground over here in the corner. And then you got to carefully weave this wire out. And you can get this out. So there you go. Hopefully this helps somebody out that's dealing with this. And yeah, it's going to take you a few hours and about up to $250 for circuit board. I found mine for $130. Well, that's what I offered for it, and I got it. So if you think it's worth your time, and about $250 on up for a circuit board to repair this, go ahead and repair it. And over and out.